Hello, it's Delia. So I've heard from quite a few of you today, and I wanted to jump on and just address a few things. So this latest 24 or 48 hours is just an example of how the summer is going to go. So their strategy has always been shock and awe and to keep everybody off kilter. It's going to continue. So right now they're doing this 180 thing of bombing and now declaring peace. And a number of people have contacted me about being very in despair about the bombing and committing Pearl Harbor on another country, and then turning around and declaring a peace, which may or may not be true, may or may not hold. None of it, it's all psychological warfare. It doesn't matter when this war started, but this war started some time ago. Maybe it started with the election. Maybe it started with before that. When it started is not as important as understanding, getting on board with the fact that we are in a war, and that this war does not match the picture. It does not match your pictures of what you think a war looks like, which is what they're banking on. The idea that war looks like World War II or something else, or Vietnam, or something with guns, or something in black and white. And what we have, what we're living in right now, is a war. And to define it any bigger than that is just to kind of get lost in the weeds. But this is living in a war. And nobody's exempt from it. And the news is not really helping, right? So this is why the spiritual perspective is so important right now. And it's going to become more and more important. And being able to find your own information, what's true for you, is crucial. So the spiritual perspective is not right or wrong or good or bad. It is above that. It is an energy above good or bad or right or wrong. Now, from a human perspective, from the 3D world, the physical world perspective, killing is bad, war is bad, hurting people is bad. These things are wrong. That is true. And staying in that survival first chakra point of view is not helpful. It is best to be with those points of view, to be with those concerns that the body has, to have compassion for the part of you that is deathly afraid of what's going to happen in the world, to your family, to yourself, to your own economy, to your own finances. That's appropriate. That's what your first chakra is supposed to tell you to do. It's supposed to watch out for your physical well-being. And your second chakra is appropriately having you concerned with your loved ones, your friends, your emotional connections, your emotional world. Your system is doing what it's supposed to do. And with the spiritual perspective, that your higher self, let's say, is kind of like the umbrella that can kind of take in everybody's points of view and let everybody breathe and express and witness, all take everything in and have a bigger perspective, that infinite point of view, that point of view that's bigger than right here, right now, or 10 years, or 100 years, or 1,000 years even. From the spiritual point of view, things are just shifting. There are things like karmic balancing going on. There are things like course correction going on. There are things like things that need to die away are dying away. Things that need to have space made for them, that the space is being made for them. There's a lot of things that are going on that our normal way of talking about things doesn't have vocabulary for. The normal way we have about seeing the world is so full of inaccuracies and misinformation and teeny, 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 tiny versions of reality that we have collectively outgrown. And so we're, as humanity, going through a huge growth period that is crunchy and uncomfortable. And our natural inclination is our body personality selves wants to be able to name everything and to have an end date. I want the beginning, middle, and end. I want to know what's going on, as though that is possible when it comes to being an infinite being with a body. It really isn't. It's the story we're told is in the 3D world. It's supposed to be how it's supposed to be. But the 3D world says that you're supposed to know what you want to do for the rest of your life in 8th grade. So it's not very reliable, right? And privately, everybody knows that there's a lot of things about everything in the world. Everybody knows that there are things that have been going wrong that need to change. And that's what's happening. I've been in communities and talking about earth changes since the 70s, and they're happening. There's the planet itself is a spiritual being, and it is evolving. Does that mean that there's no such thing as climate change? No, there's a lot of humanity has contributed a lot to pollution. True. It's not an either or. It's a both and. So the planet is going through changes. Some man-made, a lot not. And a lot of what the planet is going through and birthing and raising its vibration and stepping into, we have no vocabulary for. We can speculate, we can humanize it and imagine it, but it's a different thing. It's on a different scale. And you have to be able to kind of leave your human perspective and really be in your infinite perspective to be able to tune into and connect with that, which, by the way, is a fantastic way to spend your time. It's very healing for your body too. So if you're riding the waves of the news, you're going to be very upset all the time. And you're going to be stuck in your lower 3 chakras and not being able to breathe very well or sleep very well. Your digestion is going to be messed up because your survival is going to be being tweaked all the time by other energies, other people. And you're going to be very aware of not being your own sovereign self because you're outside of yourself and other people are in charge. It's a very disconcerting place to live from. Definitely the imposter syndrome is very strong when you're not in your center because other people are telling you who you are. So the more that you can come into your body, and there are lots and lots of ways to do that. The simplest way to do that is by touching. I usually have my hands, on my thighs, my knees, but I'll do it so you can see me. And it's just, pat the body. It's not like they're their dog, but like a friend, as though you like your body, as though you appreciate what a good sport your body is. And breathing. So breathing as comfortably, as deeply as you can. And if you're kind of panicky, then don't try to breathe deep. Do the cry breath, which is your body's way to help you regulate yourself, which is 2 short inhales and 1 long exhale. So you see babies use that breath because its body, in its wisdom, knows how to regulate itself. By breathing, and then also notice the room that you're in. Tell yourself, notice, what are the wall colors? Is it light? Is it dark? Are there shadows in the room? Is there light coming in through the window? What's the temperature of where you are right now? Can you feel the air conditioning? Is the air conditioning moving the air on your skin? Is there a fan moving the air? Is the temperature warm or cool where you are right now? Are your feet hot or cold? And how does your neck and shoulders feel? Are they tight? Are they relaxed? Do some shoulder rolls. Help your body move. Allow your body to move. Notice the sensations in your body. Notice where you've been holding your breath too long. Notice where you've been sitting still too long. The more you can come into right here, right now, even if just for a moment, yeah, the more your body can shift a little bit out of fight, flight, freeze and into rest and reset. Now, keep in mind, there's nothing in the way the world works right now that will support you being in rest and reset. But you can learn. It's an acquired taste maybe, but you can learn how to come home to you more often. So this summer is going to be crunchy and it's going to be bumpy. And the more you can be occupying you, and the more you can be at home inside of you, and the more you can be paying attention to the parts of you that are upset and communicating with them and not judging them, but seeing what you can do for them. This is going to contribute to your vibration, you living in a more sane and loving environment. And the more you are living in a more sane and loving environment, the more you're contributing that energy to everyone, which does more to help the people at the opposite end of the bad things, or at the receiving end of the bad things, than all of your upset can. So keep looking for what's the spiritual perspective in this situation. What could this possibly be contributing to? What could be good about this that I can't see yet? And pat your body and breathe. Sip water and take many, many walks. That's MANY, MINI walks. help your body move. All right. Till next time.